associating himself not with Ezekiel, not with the nation of Israel. He is associating himself with the heavenly character seen in a vision by the Navi Daniel. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. He is claiming, and using this term, the full attributes of deity by using this term many times in the renewed covenant. Many times. Daniel, let's look closely at Daniel 7:13. Who is this Son of Man that I should believe in him? Who is the Ben Adam, the body Enosh, that I should believe in him? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Well, let's look closer at this first usage. In Daniel 7:13, notice, Yeshua has eternal access to the Ancient of Days. Does anybody in this room have eternal access to the Ancient of Days? I'm talking about before you were born. Did you have access to the Ancient of Days before you were born? I think not. Even after you were born, you need the Ruach HaKodesh to have any kind of an access to the Father. He had an eternal access to Yahweh. Number two, the Son of Man received dominion, glory, power, and authority before the world existed. Yes. Yahweh didn't say, okay, I made Rome, now I need somebody to rule over Rome. Yahweh didn't say, I made Persia, now I need somebody to rule over Persia. He had dominion, authority, and power over every language, every nation, every tongue, before there was a United States or a world to come to. Talk to me, somebody.
All right, man.
Also, we see in verse 14, all nations will be gathered by him. All nations will serve him. All nations will worship him. We see in Daniel 14 that the authority of the Ben Adam is an eternal authority that will pass away only when? When Mahmoud Ahmadinejad takes power. Is that what it said? Is that what it said?
That's not what it said.
That's not what it said. He has an authority and a power and an ability for everyone and every nation, Islamic, Christian, Jewish, atheistic, agnostic, or agnotic. It doesn't matter. Every nation on earth will eventually serve him, for it is written, every knee shall bow, and every tongue shall confess that Yeshua is Maryah, to the glory of Yahweh the Father. Todah Rabah Yahweh.
That's for sure.
His authority, the Son of Man I'm talking about, is eternal and will never pass away. His earthly kingdom will never, verse 14, be destroyed. So we see the Ben Adam, or the Bar Enosh in Aramaic, is not a term referencing his alleged humanity, Abraham, or his dual nature, Abraham. Rather, it is his full power and authority as Yahweh, enforcing Yahweh the Father's rule upon the earth. All the other texts where this term is found in the Tanakh are irrelevant for the purpose of determining what the term means. Irrelevant. If Yahweh says Ezekiel is the Son of Man, that means Ezekiel is a man. If Yahweh says Jeremiah is the Son of Man, then it means Jeremiah is a man. But when Yahweh refers to the one who existed with him in heaven before the world was created as the Son of Man, when you're applying to that being, whether that being stays there or whether that being comes to earth, that title follows that being, and wherever that being goes, that title goes, and that's why Yeshua said, I am the Son of Man. Because it was a title of deity, not humanity. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's right. You're right, I'm right. Now we all know we're right. Now when Yeshua and the Brit Hadashah use the term Son of Man, we know it has to be based on the rule of first mention. Turn to your neighbor and say first mention.
First mention.
And only mention. So we have the rule of first mention and only mention when it comes to being used of Yahweh, the heavenly being. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Todah Rabah Yahweh. So in the Brit Hadashah, obviously Yeshua uses this term. Yeshua is quoting his authority as Yahweh, our Savior, based on Daniel 7, 13, and 14. So when Yeshua runs around and goes, do you believe in the Son of Man? Do you trust in the Son of Man? Do you have faith in the Son of... He's saying, do you believe I'm Yahweh? That's in essence what he's saying. He's not saying, do you believe I'm a man? Do you believe I'm flesh and blood? No, he's saying, do you believe in the Son of Man? Every time he used that term, he was claiming to be Yahweh. And see, we thought just the opposite. We thought this was where we can get the rabbi. This is where we can overturn whole wheat unleavened bread. Because why does he always refer to himself as a man? If you can't say oh man, say oh my.
Come on.
Go with me, we're going to go quickly now through a lot of scriptures. Yahushua 9:6. Let's look at some of the instances where Yeshua refers to himself as the Ben Adam, or as the Son of Man. Yahushua 9:6. Tadarabah Yahweh. But you may know that the Ben Adam, Yeshua speaking in the first person, has power on earth to forgive sins. Hello? Who can forgive sins other than Abraham and Yahweh? Anybody else?
Wow.
And up to you. Hello, doctor. Only Yahweh can forgive sins. And here he says, the reason I am the Son of Man is because I'm the one that it has been ordained to receive authority, power, worship, every nation, every language. I'm the one. Therefore, if you knew the one Daniel was talking about and what the Son of Man means according to Daniel, that's the one I'm talking about. Meaning, I am that one. Then he said to the sick of the paralysis, arise, take up your mat, and go to your bait. I love the King James. Take up your bed. Can you imagine some sick folks schlepping a water bed? Oh, yo creo en Yahweh. How much do you creo? I have a water bed. Look, I take up my bed and I'm walking. Silly. It was a mat. That was like an air mattress in those days. Yahushua 9:6. He said to the sick of the paralysis, get up, man. Take up your bed. The Son of Man is here. Go with Yahushua 12. That's a reference to his deity. That's because only Yahweh forgives sins. There's no man that can forgive sins. So all Yeshua's usages lined up with Daniel's usage of the word of Yahweh who existed in heaven. Whenever Yeshua talked about himself in the first person as the Ben Adam, it's always to line up with Daniel 7, not with Ezekiel 2:1, like he's just another human being. Or he wants to identify with the human race. You don't identify with the human race by running around forgiving sin. You identify as yourself as Yahweh. If I want to identify with the human race, I don't run around forgiving people's sin because only Yahweh can forgive sin. If he's forgiving sin, he's running around identifying himself as Yahweh, and that term with the first mention and the only mention in the Tanakh as Yahweh. Tadarabah Yahweh. Yahushua 12:8. Yahushua 12:8. Yeshua says about himself, for the Ben Adam, notice, is master of Shabbat. Notice, Yahweh is the only one who rested on the 6th day and hallowed the 7th day. Now, all your other translations, if you don't have the restoration scriptures, and it says in Genesis, Bereshit chapter 2, Yahweh rested, he finished his work on the 7th day, and he rested on the 7th day. Baloney. He didn't finish his work on the 7th day, he finished his work on the 6th day. The restoration scriptures is the only Bible that restores that truth. You want to see it? Maybe that'll wake you up. Don't get bummed out, man. We're in the Word now.
Come on.